If I could have everyone wave to the camera for me. Thank you. Nonverbal communication scholar Judy Berger suggests that 65 to 70% of meaning comes from nonverbal cues. In fact, it can be said that most of communication occurs more so through nonverbal behavior rather than words. Hence where we come up with the phrase of actions speak louder than words. Now, while nonverbal communication takes form in many nonverbal channels, the one we're going to be focusing on today is the channel of physical appearance and the dark side that it can take, which leads to eating disorders. Now, before we go any further, let's just take a quick look at a scenario. Let's imagine that you're lost in a city and you need directions. And to get those directions, you see two people on the side of the street. You see the man on the left and the man on the right. Which one would you guys be more inclined to ask for directions?
Man on the right.
How come?
How handsome he is.
And what about his handsomeness does that tell you? Do you feel like he's a better person, good qualities, easier to approach?
Yeah, definitely more approachable.
Okay, and that's part of what we know as the halo effect, which leads us to our next point. The halo effect is the tendency to attribute positive qualities to physically attractive people. And research has shown that we think attractive people are friendlier, more competent, and even more socially skilled than people who are less attractive. And I think from personal experiences, we can all relate to this. Maybe going to the grocery store and you see someone who's attractive and you decide to help them out compared to someone you find less attractive, or even holding the door for someone that you find attractive, that you might not always do for every other person. The preference towards physical appearance, however, can lead to dangerous extremes. And to achieve those high standards of physical appearance, some people resort to going towards eating disorders. Now, raise your hand if you have siblings between the age of 12 to 25. Okay, so 3 of you. Now, in America, 20 million women and 10 million men will suffer from an eating disorder at some point in their lives. 95% of Americans with an eating disorder are between the ages of 12 and 25. The 3 most common are anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating. Anorexia is having a distorted body image that causes people to view themselves as being overweight when actually they are dangerously thin. Bulimia consists of overeating, excessive eating, and then purging the body through the uses of either vomiting, laxatives, exercising, or another form of purging. And then binge eating is similar to bulimia, except it's only the part of excessive eating. There's no purging involved. Now, what drives these individuals to those extremes of wanting to attain such body images? Where do they get this idea from? And many researchers agree that media and social media are a large part of it. Every day we see advertisements in magazines and billboards and on television of these perfect bodies and the products that all these companies are marketing towards us. I'm sure you come across this magazine many times when you walk through the grocery aisles, or you've seen Calvin Klein commercials and thought, wow, those people are very attractive. Maybe you've even thinking, in order to have those products, I need to look like they do. That's part of the pressure that non-verbally that is communicated to us through these ads. Social media has an effect on us on how we view ourselves as well. In a national survey of Facebook users ages 16 to 40, the Center of Eating Disorders at Shepherd Pratt in Maryland discovered that 32% of respondents said they feel sad when they compare Facebook photos of themselves to those of their friends' photos. You go on spring break, you take a vacation, in your bikini or in your swimsuit, you got this great tan going on, you post it up to Facebook, you start getting those likes, all those comments. Other people see them, and depending on how affected they are by these nonverbal physical attractiveness behaviors, they start to compare themselves and think, wow, I really want to obtain that body. Look how popular they are. They get these likes. And it drives a culture of competitiveness and desire to be like that. And media effectively utilizes the halo effect to market to consumers the latest and greatest products. While they are verbally selling us the features and aspects of the product, non-verbally they use these models to communicate to us that attractive people buy these products, and to be like them and to be the best of these people, we need them as well, and we need to look like them, because that's what defines them. Unfortunately, America's youth are greatly affected by this. this is a result in part because of the amount of exposure America's youth has to media. One study has concluded that 8 to 18-year-olds interact with some sort of media, whether it be magazines, the television, books, video games, any type of media for at least 7.5 hours a day. That means a third of your day is spent looking at things that can affect you. Take, for example, our beloved Disney classics, Minnie Mouse and Daisy Duck. Many of us grew up with these characters from our childhood. And to be honest, look at Minnie, look at Daisy. They look like healthy, the love characters that we've known growing up. But just 2 years ago, Disney and Barney's New York decided to transform these beloved Disney characters into runway models. What kind of message does that send to the kids of today? That this is no longer okay, that we need to have our characters and everyone look like this? I don't think that's healthy. And I think that most of you would agree. With examples such as this and the amount of time America's youth is exposed to this type of media, it's no surprise to hear that 69% of girls in 5th through 12th grade reported that magazine pictures influenced their idea of the perfect body. But in all reality, only 5% of American women naturally possess the body type portrayed in these types of advertisements. What does this all mean for communication? Well, with examples such as this and with physical appearance is obviously a nonverbal communication channel that receives a lot of emphasis in American culture. Because of the halo effect, it's easy to see why it is so valued and the media portrays it so frequently. However, it's important to not let us or others become so blinded by the halo effect that the road towards obsession for beauty and eating disorders takes hold of us. Remember, physical appearances isn't the only channel of nonverbal communication, and it surely isn't the most important. In fact, some of the most beautiful and most beloved people aren't the most physically attractive people by media standards at all. Thank you for your time. Hope you guys have a